In 2016, just 2 years after marrying, Angelina Jolie filed for divorce, and in an instant, Brad Pitt's world came crashing down. From being the power couple of Hollywood with 6 kids and a picture-perfect family, everything was taken away in one day. The media wasted no time turning Brad into the villain, but the real story? That was never captured by the cameras. This is a story of a man who was always seen through the glamorous lens of fame, but no one ever truly understood the pain, loneliness, and struggles he faced. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the untold story of Brad Pitt. In 1986, at the University of Missouri, a 22-year-old boy named William Bradley Pitt was facing his biggest dilemma. He was a young guy, stuck studying journalism, but all he really wanted was to be an actor. His frustration began to grow. Then one day, he made a decision that would make you think, "This guy must be crazy." Just 2 weeks before graduating, Brad stuffed $325 in his pocket, grabbed his old car, and headed straight for Hollywood, without even telling his family about his dream of acting. But this dream quickly turned into a nightmare. In a city where rent was $500, what could $325 do? Brad was forced to take on all kinds of weird jobs to survive. There was a time when he dressed up as a yellow chicken to dance outside a restaurant and invite people inside. Yes, he wore the full chicken costume and performed for tips. That's what real struggle looked like. On top of that, Brad worked as a limo driver, dropping strippers off at party venues. And when that didn't pay enough, he began shifting furniture to make ends meet. There were times when he went to bed hungry, living off cheap burgers and instant noodles, even taking the free snacks from auditions home. But when you're willing to go to any length for your dream, fate eventually has a way of turning in your favor. In 1991, Brad landed a role in Thelma and Louise, playing a character named JD. His shirtless charm and smooth-talking performance were so magnetic that in just one brief appearance, he became Hollywood's newest sex symbol. Women went wild, directors took notice, and the industry knew this guy was about to blow up. Brad didn't waste his opportunity. Rather than sticking to charming roles, he dove headfirst into more serious parts, delivering one incredible performance after another. Movies like A River Runs Through It, Interview with the Vampire, Legends of the Fall, 7, and 12 Monkeys shook audiences to the core. But then came Fight Club, and Brad Pitt was solidified as a cinematic powerhouse. Remember the first rule of Fight Club:
"You do not talk about Fight Club."
That line became iconic, and the 90s film fans couldn't get enough. Brad's portrayal of Tyler Durden, a character who questioned society's rules and norms, pushed him to new heights of stardom. Brad Pitt has always believed in breaking free from the norm. He's the kind of guy who thinks consumerism, corporate slavery, and today's modern lifestyle have weakened people. For him, Fight Club wasn't just a movie, it was a punch to the face for all those stuck in boring 9-to-5 jobs. Brad's portrayal of his character was so intense, so electrifying, that it left a lasting mark on Hollywood. After Fight Club, Brad's career took off even higher, but in 2000, a piece of news broke that shattered the hearts of millions of fans. Brad Pitt married Jennifer Aniston. Their love story felt like something straight out of a fairy tale. It all started when their agent set them up on a blind date. What followed was a whirlwind romance that quickly grew serious, culminating in a magical wedding on July 29, 2000. Their ceremony became one of Hollywood's most expensive celebrity weddings ever. Fans showered the couple with love, and after tying the knot, Brad's career hit super speed. Every character he played, whether it was Rusty Ryan in the Ocean's 11 series or Achilles in Troy, became iconic. These films raked in record-breaking box office earnings, making Brad Pitt one of Hollywood's top A-list actors. By 2004, With the end of Friends, Jennifer began planning a family with Brad. But then came something that turned Brad into Hollywood's villain. In 2004, Brad signed on to Mr. and Mrs. Smith, where he starred alongside Angelina Jolie. Rumors quickly began swirling about Brad and Angelina growing closer. At first, Jennifer dismissed the rumors, but soon she realized something was off. When intimate photos of Brad and Angelina leaked in a magazine, it broke Jennifer's heart. In early 2005, Brad and Jennifer announced their split, and soon after, Brad and Angelina became the hottest couple in Hollywood. The media and fans began calling them Brangelina, the perfect Hollywood duo. But the truth wasn't confined to red carpets. Angelina, a dedicated humanitarian, and Brad joined forces for social causes around the world. They traveled to Syria and Africa, raising their voices for refugees, and even founded the Maddox Foundation in Cambodia. Brad also initiated the New Orleans rebuilding project after Hurricane Katrina, helping rebuild homes. This wasn't just a couple in love, they were like angels to those in need. While Brad was winning hearts with his philanthropy, he was also dominating the box office. Movies like The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, Inglourious Bastards, 12 Years a Slave, and World War Z solidified him as a serious actor. 12 Years a Slave even won the Oscar for Best Picture. Just a few months after winning the Oscar in 2014, Brad and Angelina became official husband and wife. They had children, lived in luxury, and continued to make blockbuster movies. Life seemed perfect. But in 2015, they released a film that rocked not just their careers, but their real lives as well. The movie was By the Sea, written, directed by Angelina, and co-starring Brad. Fans were excited to see the couple on screen together, but when the movie released, the chemistry that once defined Brangelina was nowhere to be found. People began to realize that Brangelina only seemed perfect on Instagram, not in real life. In fact, some critics even called By the Sea a preview of what was to come for their relationship. Unfortunately, the reality was just as heartbreaking as the movie. In 2016, during a private jet trip, a heated argument broke out between Brad Pitt and his oldest son, Maddox. That moment led to Angelina Jolie filing for divorce. You might think it was just one argument, but there were many underlying reasons behind this decision. Angelina had always struggled with Brad's alcohol issues, and after the divorce, Brad himself admitted that his drinking had become a problem, one that made their marriage toxic. On top of that, Brad was a very strict father, while Angelina believed in a more independent, free-spirited way of parenting. These differences grew so big that they began fighting over the smallest things. But it didn't stop there. Angelina even accused Brad of domestic violence. The world began to think that Brad Pitt's career was over and that he would only be remembered as a troubled celebrity. But what they didn't know was that Brad wasn't the type to break down easily. During their divorce, Angelina targeted Brad's alcoholic habits and fought for custody of their children. In response, Brad checked himself into rehab in 2016, and within a year, he was sober. He didn't just survive, he made a powerful comeback. In 2018, Brad appeared in Deadpool 2 as Vanisher, but that was just a teaser. The real bombshell came in 2019, when Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood hit the theaters. Brad's performance as Cliff Booth, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, Rick Dalton's stunt double, was nothing short of mesmerizing. His work in this film earned him his first Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. While Brad was silencing his critics, his personal life also started to stabilize. In 2022, a judge awarded Brad joint custody of the kids. But just when things seemed settled, Angelina challenged the ruling, And in the end, the custody was reversed. After 8 long years of legal battles, Brad and Angelina signed their divorce settlement on December 30th, 2024. Angelina took the kids, and Brad was left to rebuild his life. But instead of focusing on his personal struggles, Brad shifted all his energy into his career. And now, in 2025, he's making a major return as a race car driver in Formula One. Set to release on June 25th, I believe this movie could mark a new milestone in Brad Pitt's career. He's the same 22-year-old who once set off for Hollywood with just $325 in his pocket. And now, he's a Hollywood king. Why? Because he never let hunger, failure, heartbreak, or the opinions of others stop him. So, my friends, even when the path ahead seems blocked, keep moving forward. It might take time, but if your intentions are pure and your courage unwavering, the path will open up for you. What do you think about Brad Pitt's journey? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because we'll keep bringing you more motivating stories like this one. See you in the next video. Until then, take care, stay healthy, and keep thriving.